Monkey.
Oh crap. And I got it out, but there we go. It's still too dark in here. How's that? I hope it's good enough. Hey guys, sorry I've been MIA for so long. I'm clearly in a new location. I spent the last month and a half moving. It's been kind of a crazy process, but I got myself a whole new garage. Still needs a lot of organizing, as you probably saw with the opening scene, but we are gonna have a lot more space once we get stuff moved. Gosh. Okay, there's better. But haven't really driven the Audi that much just because it was, one, super dirty, two, I realized that the wastegate was tightened too much. I put it at crack pressure for 14 just because I was getting too low of boost with the stock crack pressure from factory from JHM, which is 6. However, I wasn't sure with the GEOC pairing for the JHM Turbo what was needed for it to run properly. Luckily, I found a source online. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll put the link down for the Audi Zine post in the description. Luckily, he was able to do all the math and found a sweet spot. Turns out it's like 8 or 9 PSI for crack pressure, which kind of is confusing to me because the car was hitting peak boost at 23 PSI a couple times, but then it started to taper off. And it's been acting like how it was when I first got it, where it would hit maybe 16 PSI and then taper down to 14. But we're gonna try adjusting that today, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Before we get right into it though, I want to explain that the GEOC tune was built off of the CTS Turbo kit, the KO4, not their KO4X or whatever it is. The JHM KO4R is essentially the same as the CTS KO4X from my understanding. Please let me know if I'm wrong. But because this is paired the way it is, you kind of got to be careful with your crack pressure. If you're running this setup, you definitely want to have a boost gauge, because if you go over 23 PSI, you're going to start over boosting. So if you're going to adjust your wastegate at all, it has to be tuned already. If you're running a KO3 and a stock tune, don't do this. Your tune or stock ECU tune or tune calls for a certain amount of PSI for peak boost. Talk with your tuner to see what that is and how it can be changed. Anything above that, don't do it. You'll boom. Alright, now we're gonna get into getting the wastegate going. Before I get into this, pull up a bucket. Before I get into this, I'm not going to be taking off the test pipe to get an actual view of the wastegate itself from the hot side of the turbo. Focus. Just because I've done this a few times already, I don't have a second set of eyes with me, and I can kind of see it from the bottom. But if you've never done it before, always take the safer route and have a second set of eyes watching that wastegate crack for you, just so you get an idea of how it's like, so you both can get an eyes-on view. Alright, so I got the car partially lined up on the jack, but we're gonna have to take out this air box first, just so we can get to the connection point with the pressure tester on the turbo. So we're gonna have to remove all this real quick. Alright, you guys might be able to see it, but right here, right there, is our wastegate, and we're going to be taking off that clamp right there, and then attaching the pressure tester to there to simulate a crack to get air in there and see what our crack pressure is sitting at. Alright, unfortunately I can't really get a camera in there. I tried my best to, so I'm gonna just take it off and show you guys what it looks like after. Oh, no bleed. All right, we're good. That scar right there was actually from taking that off in the past and jacking it up. So, but we got it off. As you can see there, the little nub is out. That right there. So what we're gonna use now is a pressure tester. This is the one I got from Harbor Freight. It was like 60 bucks. It's Maddox. This one does pressure and vacuum, so I highly recommend it if you plan on using it for multiple tools. But don't make the same mistake I did. I just went over there and grabbed the first one I saw, thinking they were both pressure testers. One actually ended up getting a vacuum one. So do that before you leave the store. Make sure it's an actual pressure tester. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of fell apart, but this is the actual tester itself. As you can see here, there is a little sign that says vacuum and pressure. You pull that back and forth depending on what you're trying to do. It comes with all the tubings and fittings that you'll need, which is pretty great. But for now, we're going to be using this straw just because it makes it easier to maneuver and use it while I'm underneath the car. And then also this fitting. But to get it into the fitting, we need to use one of those black pieces. So I'm gonna shuffle through these and grab it real quick. These two, input those, grab your tube, kind of squeeze this on. And this is the part that you're gonna connect to the wastegate. You're gonna shove it down there pretty tight, and then you're gonna grab your pressure tester and put the other end on. If it's not going on smoothly for you, what you can do is grab a lighter, kind of heat up the tubing rope a little bit, don't do it too much, and then you could fit it on there and then it'll tighten up for you. But yeah, that's how you get your pressure tester. So now this is the fun part where I gotta try to get it onto the actual fitting. Alright, it's way easier with two hands, but you can kind of see down there, it's fitted onto the wastegate. So now that it's all fitted, I should be able to squeeze it and it's going to test the pressure. However, while I'm down underneath, I'm going to need to hold a finger on that to make sure air stays tight. And then also, this is a little trick I learned, crack the wastegate pressure. It's easier to adjust the crack pressure if it's already open. Not sure why, I'm still learning, but if that's the method of doing it, let me know. Other turbos might be different. Give it a shot. I don't know. But if the whole car was over there, this would be so much nicer. I'm looking forward to it, but to settle with what we got, I've left you guys in the dark for too long on content. So I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but that is gonna be where you adjust the wastegate. That little nut. All right, after doing some tests off camera, I kind of had to because I need both hands. The pressure tester came out to like 11 or 12 PSI for crack pressure. All right, I'm gonna try my best to show this, but I have it on vacuum mode. I'm gonna pump it, and then you're gonna watch up there, and you'll see it. See, that's when you see it move. Right now we're at a crack pressure at about 9 PSI, I would say. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and we're gonna give it a go and see how the car runs. But I'm gonna tighten that nut now and we're gonna wrap it up. All right, so we're gonna start putting that back together right now. It should take no longer than 5 minutes. I'd like to apologize for how dark the video is. This is my first time shooting in this garage, and I didn't want to leave you guys in the dark another week while I tried to figure out lighting, while I had to figure out other parts of the house as well. So I'll get a headlamp, I'm gonna get lights replaced, but the other stuff that we're gonna be doing for the future videos isn't really gonna be involving the engine bay. It's gonna be more some fun stuff. I'm excited to share it with you guys. But for now, thank you for bearing with me on this and me being MIA. I'm excited to kick things up. At the end of the video, I'll show you what's up next, and I'll let you guys decide what we should do. I got the hose on and I got the fitting right on it, so I'm gonna tighten it up now. Got that put together. I'm gonna put back on the turbo inlet pipe just because it seemed to come apart, which is not a good thing. So I'm gonna put that back on, drop down the car, and we're gonna try to take it out for a spin and see how boost is doing. I might make another adjustment later on depending on how this goes. This is just me taking along you guys for the ride.
You're very close. Oh, now you're even closer. You're like about to scrape. It's close. Oh, about to scrape. Oh, you're good, I think. Yeah, you're good.
So that's my driveway. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna take you for a ride once I get out of this. I'm on oncoming traffic. All right, so car's pulling a little bit better, but I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. We are in Mexico. I just drove down, but alright, so just after like 2 or 3 pulls, I know I just changed it. Maybe the car needs to take time to adjust a little bit. Second gear is peaking at about 18 PSI now, which is good. It starts to hesitate. Maybe I need to roll into it a bit, or again, the car needs to adjust still. I'm unsure. But second to third gear is pulling a lot harder than it was in second. I'm not hearing any of that turbo surging sound anymore. I haven't driven the car in a while, so I'm gonna try to take it easy on it. It seems to be running a little bit happy already just by driving it down the block, which is fantastic. I'm stoked. I'm gonna try to get a few more pull videos. Just traffic in Mexico is a bit, it's rush hour. Second gear. Third gear pull from 35 miles an hour. All right, let's see if we can get in my driveway now. verdict is it runs a little bit better. I'm gonna have to drive it more. Still not hitting over 20 psi. I gotta figure that out, but I think I'll figure that out once the garage is cleared out. But for now, the car runs a little bit better. Can already tell I need new rear brakes. But yeah, I'm gonna be happy with it for a while. I don't wanna try to hit peak boost all the time, just because I don't race the car. I'm trying to make it reliable. Don't need to be risk blowing up the turbo or hurting the motor right now. Maybe in the future, but yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm gonna let you guys decide next what you'd like me to film. I'll just tell you guys. So we can either do the headliner, because I got sagging headliner. I bought some off Amazon, swap it out with some suede. Or I could do LED taillights, because I bought a pair of new lens that I have to remove and put on the old set and reseal them. And they look really cool. So you guys let me decide, headliner or should I do the taillights? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for tuning in, I appreciate it. Let me know how the video quality was, if things are too out of focus. I need to get used to the lighting in here. But other than that, thanks for tuning in, and you guys have a great rest of your night. See ya.